Hello, Jesse Good here. Today we're taking a look at the LEGO Harry Potter 2002 Chamber of Secrets set, which is one of the biggest old sets I'm going to review on this channel, which was released in 2002 for $70 with 5 minifigures. And this one is still sort of sealed. The pieces inside are sealed, so let's open this bad boy up. So once you cut the tape, you can see that all the pieces are in these numbered bags. There's some raised plates, little roof parts, the instructions underneath, and this was voted on by $2 up Patreon supporters for the big set review to end the year. So if you're interested in voting on upcoming LEGO set reviews, or you just want to support the channel in an extra way, check that card out up there. So first I want to take a look at the Basilisk, which is such an incredible build for this set that I think it still holds up to this day. The design of this uses a lot of specialized pieces with these two body pieces as well as this neck and this head up here. For the head, there's a stud on both sides, which you put another stud on top, which is in translucent yellow. You could rotate the head 360 degrees. There's 4 studs at the top of the head. And also inside, there's these 2 holes that you could put daggers in. And these are in glow-in-the-dark opaque, which the design for these are actually very expensive in that coloring. They only come in this set, so they go on Bricklink for like 30 bucks for the 2-pack. Inside, there's also a stud which they don't use, and onto the neck, which the head just attaches to the neck via a Technic pin already molded into the head. There's this nice pattern that just continues throughout the whole Basilisk, which compared to the Basilisk we get this year in the Hogwarts Great Hall, this is such a more interesting build in my opinion. The middle body section actually uses a 2x4 of this little plate right here. Now it is a bit tough to remove that plate, which is good because it means it's a very sturdy build. The both centers of the body connect via a Technic pin in the middle. And if you remove that plate and you keep it removed, you could have a lot of rotation with that center body part, but I think it's best off to just put that plate on there. Other than that, it continues on to a tail, which has one section right here as a piece. There's a second section right here as a piece. And then a third section right here, which is one last piece, which they've used for horns and fangs before. Either way, that is it for the Basilisk, which the one from 2018 in the Great Hall set is so weak compared to this one. Let's take a look at the other minifigures in the set. There's Harry Potter, who's the same minifigure found in most of the Sorcerer's Stones and Chamber of Secrets sets, with the cape with the stars on it, a wand, and that classic Harry Potter hairpiece with no back, torso, or facial printing. Ron also appears in the set, and again, same case as Harry, where this is the version that appears in most of the other sets with no back torso or face printing, because this is 2002. However, this is where it gets a little bit interesting, because this is Tom Riddle, and this is the only time we've ever gotten this version of Tom Riddle in any of the regular retail sets. His face print is exclusive to this one, and there's no back, torso, or whatever. You get the point. These are old figures, so there's nothing on the back. There's Ginny Weasley, and her face print is exclusive to the set, and that hairpiece is very hard to find in that color, so I like that as well. Same torso print as Ron and Harry, though. So here is Gilderoy Lockhart, and the design for him uses this nice sand red color, which I think they're bringing back in 2019, I'm not entirely sure. And that's cape, the legs, which have no printing to them, and the torso are all exclusive to this set, and also his face print and his hair isn't the most common one, but they do appear in some of the other sets from the Chamber of Secrets. Again, all connected and enclosed, it's hard to take a look at every angle of the set because there's so many different things going on in here, which is not a bad thing at all. It can get a little bit too cluttered, but there are hinges that connect each platform, which you can see one right there. There's also one on this side, which the Basilisk is kind of blocking. And this piece is very loosely connected by just a 2x3 brick there. But once you remove all of those, it's easier to count for each part. There's the entrance from Moaning Myrtle's bathroom, there's the 2 sides of the Chamber of Secrets, and then the Basilisk's entrance. For the Basilisk entrance, there's the 2 hinges that hold both sides of the Chamber of Secrets, and then this build right here, which can be opened just by pushing the back walls like this. And I remember this build in particular in terms of when I was younger, I would always look at the catalog and such, and this was really what I thought of when I thought of the Chamber of Secrets set. This is also where you find the Basilisk. You can just kind of stick the Basilisk through that entrance, and there's enough room to stick them on there with some studs, and it works out pretty well. On the back, there's even some roundness to it, so it's not just a one-sided build, which I do appreciate as well. But that's it for this section. I think it's only fair to start with the entrance from Moaning Myrtle's bathroom, which is kind of sad because Moaning Myrtle is not in this set. She wasn't in that minifigure close-up for a reason. And the design of this uses one of those canopies that they've used for a lot of the older Lego Harry Potter sets. There's actually a play feature with how you enter into the Chamber of Secrets. The play feature is a trap door, which works by pushing this platform at the bottom down, and the trap door makes a minifigure fall through. It's a very simple play feature, but it works for an interesting entrance, which is just triggered like that. The design for the bathroom is also incredibly simple, and I guess that makes sense since this is a Chamber of Secrets set. It is nice to get that faucet in white, though, and I'm glad they put a little bit of detail with the sink. Also, this whole thing is connected to the rest of the build via this one 2x3 brick, which I pointed out before, and again, it just feels very loose as a connection. I wish there was something a little bit more like how the Basilisk entrance uses 2 hinge pieces. The next section is one side of the Chamber of Secrets. This is also the section where Fawkes the Phoenix is found, and the design for this is just one piece that was only ever released in this one set. Kind of odd that they didn't save him for Dumbledore's office, but it makes sense that he's in this set. I like the design of this, and I don't think it looks too alien compared to some of the other animals from the time. There's some nice pole connections so that a minifigure can hold him from the back, or that they could hold him from the top right there. There's a stud at the back as well, and an anti-stud connection at the bottom. Lots of nice different molding to it, which I like the textures of it, and it's a hard plastic, so it feels like it's high quality, and I think a lot of thought went into this one piece. Moving on from Fawkes, like all the other sections, the build is on this raised plate. There's 4 panels in this set with identical printing on it, which does look very detailed for a print of the time. The 2 on this side have identical play features where you could pull this little lever and both reveal something. On this side, it's a wizard's hat. And on the other side, it's a translucent neon green spider. Another nice aspect of that play feature is that you could easily activate it just by pressing this middle part, which pops open both of those panels. I like the build of that, which has a little snake on it and some vent pieces used in a clever way to represent a stream of water. And the build of the top of the platform is identical to the next side that we'll take a look at, where there's this shield right here with a snake print on it or a basilisk print. And then there's these 2 crocodile heads used in a very interesting manner that I don't know if it's even a legal technique nowadays, where you take this pole connection and connect it to the back little slither of that piece. It's very loose in my opinion, and I don't know if it was the best design choice in terms of stability, but it does look pretty nice and interesting. Here's where it gets a little bit awkward. Keep in mind I'm basing the whole positioning of all the plates and parts and different sections of the Chamber of Secrets based on the end instructions picture, where they tell you to place everything. Now, each of the top of these 2 sections, which we'll take a look at the next section, have space for different towers. Well, on this side, they tell you to put this big tower right here, but they don't even give a 4th tower, so you're always going to have a tower placement missing. And in my opinion, it looks like something is definitely missing there. It's not like a little unnoticeable build part. It's quite annoying. I think they should have just done a 4th tower. Maybe it's not accurate to the Hogwarts design or whatnot, but I'm sure they took a lot of liberties to already make this into a play set. Either way, this tower is probably the best tower compared to the ones that we'll take a look at next, where it has this nice stained glass window. And if you take a look inside the tower itself, there's really not much going on. This is a build that's probably better looking from the front, but you do have this little owl right here, which is a pretty cute touch. And in general, the back of this particular section doesn't have much going on because it has those 2 parts hidden by a play feature that displays them anyways. Now we're moving on to the final section of the set. The bottom floor houses Ginny and Tom Riddle with Tom Riddle's diary. And Tom Riddle's diary is the same one that's in Dobby's release, the other 2002 set, which is a much cheaper way to get that piece. This is the older book design, which is just one piece where the spine always seems to get bent whenever you open it. Now, each of these panels can be opened just by pushing this middle section, which I appreciate the middle section's design with 2 snakes and then this goblet in the middle. It actually looks pretty menacing. And on one side, we have the Sword of Gryffindor, which is kind of sad how this is a better design for the Sword of Gryffindor than what they use in the 2018 direct-to-consumer Hogwarts Castle set. And on the other side, they just use a snake as a reveal. Yeah, I guess that's a much lamer. There's not too much to the back of the first floor, unfortunately, and I think that could be said about the second floor. which the second floor just has 2 hollow towers to it. Again, I think the tower with the stained glass is probably the most interesting one. And one of the towers uses a printed piece. And that print, which is a 2x2 that appears in a lot of other Chamber of Secrets sets, is the only thing differentiating the 2 towers, which have the same exact build. Also in the middle, they once again use that printed Basilisk shield. But either way, that's it for the build of the Chamber of Secrets. Let's take a look at the packaging and then the final verdict. Now this is a huge box, and the box art on the cover actually looks really nice. I like how they positioned all the sets in different parts. And they include the instructions, a catalog from 2003, which we've looked at before, also a mail-in for shop at home. The catalog from 2003 has different arrangements of the set at the back, some alternate builds that you could do, which some of them they even give steps for, like this one right here. But yeah, I think the actual official arrangement is the most interesting arrangement out there. But I'm glad they took the time to at least show some of these alternate builds, which are quite interesting. See how many there are? It's just pretty impressive, and they give you 4 steps to kind of do those. And this was where I'm basing the whole arrangement of the sets on, personally. Also included is the poster, which we've seen the poster a couple times before. And the back has a whole bunch of different sets from Chamber of Secrets and the Sorcerer's Stone Wave. So overall, I'm incredibly happy with how the Chamber of Secrets turned out. Living up to the name, there's lots of nice secrets hidden in these corridors, and it's a set that I don't know if we're going to get another of anytime soon. In a way, it's ahead of its time, where you could rearrange each of the sections in a very modular feel, where there's these towers that can be put in different positions, though there are some awkward parts where some of the pieces just don't seem like they're really, I guess, secured. Some of the connections are very insecure as well, and there's just a whole tower missing here, which kind of annoys me. But other than that, again, this was a really impressive set to just take a look at. And I have to thank my Patreon supporters for choosing this one, because I don't know how long it would have taken me to open it on my own. Also, check out some of my older LEGO Harry Potter reviews if that interests you, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Bye.